2 years ago, I decided to deactivate my Facebook account because I thought I needed a break from social media. But recently, I discovered that the break was way too long. I felt I was missing out. It was only a matter of days after I reactivated my account that I received a very special friend request. It was from a very handsome, and I should add, photogenic French guy. I didn't need to think much about whether I wanted this handsome fellow on my list. Few minutes later, I got a message from him saying, "Bonjour, ça va?" And I replied, "Bonjour, ça va et toi?" "Ça va. Je m'appelle Jean-Pierre." Heading to the English version now. "I'm a French medical student living in Europe. What about you?" "My name is Nour." "Nour? Cute name. What does it mean?" "It means light in Arabic." "Interesting. So you mean like you light up people's life?" He laughed. "No, seriously. What do you do in your life, Miss Light?" As much as I was happy because the guy had a sense of humor, I found myself confused. Because for the first time in my life, I didn't know how to answer on such an easy question. Like seriously, who am I? Am I the designer, the student, Nour the sketcher, the painter, or even the musician? And instead of telling a long description about myself, I decided to choose one single word, which I truly believe represents me well. Artist. And I replied, "I am an artist." To be honest, I was expecting a very witty and a funny reply. But this time, Jean-Pierre decided to surprise me, and he replied with, "So, you mean like you scratched some irregular lines on a blank paper?" And I thought to myself, scratch some lines on a blank paper? Like seriously? I had many replies in my mind, some of which are probably inappropriate to utter at the moment, but I kept my cool. You know, artists are known by their very sharp answers, and we call it in French, l'art des mots. So, I decided to live up to that, and I said, "Yes, that's true. That's exactly what I did when I was 6 years old. Irregular lines, a smiley sun, and plenty of failed attempts of vases and fruit bowls. But I'm 24 now, so let me fill you in on what has happened since, Monsieur Jean-Pierre. My name is Nour, the girl who grew up to become an interior designer and current architecture student, a sketcher and a painter who won several international competitions, including ones from your country. My name appears as a volunteer artist in many therapy programs, a musician who knows how to play the flute, piano, and violin, a cello student, a music teacher in several institutes, a women's rights advocate, and a speaker. My irregular lines and I have moved so far in life, unlike yours, who seems to be stuck in time, refusing to evolve." Sounds mean, right? While I was waiting for such a mean and a harsh reply from Jean-Pierre, suddenly, his beautiful profile picture was gone. And the fancy name of Jean-Pierre turned into a Facebook user. And at this moment, I realized that I was totally blocked by this person. But believe me or not, I was so satisfied. Because for the first time in the life of someone like Jean-Pierre, he was finally confronted with what the term artist truly means. You see, I grew up with art. Everything in my life has evolved around art. It has been included in almost everything. It has been a part of my education, my designs, my sketches, my paintings, my music, and even as a part of a therapy I provided to some people. You know, you don't need to be an artist in order to evaluate art in the right way. Instead, all you need is to have an artistic mindset where you can reach the point and ask yourself one easy question. How would my life turn out without art? Simply. And I remember once I got an exam question that I had to answer. And instead of writing a very long essay, I decided to leave the paper empty as a way to show that my life with no art will be totally blank, like this paper. So, I wrote down my name with my ID number and gave it to my professor. But unfortunately, my professor didn't get the art behind the blank paper, and I ended up getting a 0. And I remember that day when I came back home to tell my father about what happened. And believe me or not, he was so happy. Because for the first time in his daughter's life, she actually translated her ideas into art. And he told me a secret that I will be very happy and proud to share it with you. But it's a secret, so don't tell anyone. And he said, the moment you'll start appreciating art is the moment you're gonna start to live your life in the right way. Is it that possible? Well, absolutely. I seem too obsessed with art to an extent that I wrestle with many what-if questions. Have you ever thought about what if the art of Romeo and Juliet has never existed? What would have happened to many lovers who took Romeo and Juliet as their role models? How would many love stories and other pieces of art, including stories and movies, have ever ended? What if the voice of Fayrouz was never present? As a Lebanese and Arab, could our morning coffee still taste the same? Can you imagine traveling to Paris without admiring the beautiful Eiffel Tower? And what if cakes and desserts were just as boring as a mixture put into the oven and served just as they come out? No icing, no colorful drizzle on the top, not even a proper presentation of the plate. Food is an art, one that I'm particularly fond of. And what if fashion and our sense of style were almost identical to that of everyone else? How will you express yourself? How would you reflect your unique individuality without that black pearl necklace, those bold red stiletto shoes, or even that messy hair bun? Yes, I am an artist, but I do not need to be mysterious or have those wild-colored hair or to have piercing and tattoos all over my face and body for you to see that I am an artist. I am an artist because of the way I choose to lead my life, view my surroundings, expressing my ideas and my visions. You do not get to label and stereotype me based on what you conceive art is. So, how will you figure out who an artist is or who Nour is? All you need to do is ask. And if I like you enough, maybe I will answer you or even give you a glimpse of the aesthetic world I live in. I doubt I'll get to chat with Jean-Pierre again. But should another Jean-Pierre come across my profile, I'll make sure to ask him, to take a look, of what status I write and what photographs I post, so that he wouldn't even need to ask. What do you do? Thank you.